Good afternoon. Happy Sunday. It has stopped raining, so I'm happy about that, but I did bring an umbrella just in case. I am up in Bracebridge. Well, it's actually a little bit outside of Bracebridge at 2410 Fraserburg Road. Obviously, it is waterfront. This property is 160 by 227, and it does have a cottage on it as well as a bunkie and a garage, which is a car and a half. It is 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom, just over 700 square feet. But if you have clicked through the pictures at all, you do know that it's not really usable, 2 bedroom, 1 bathroom, and it's definitely not usable. But I will show you guys around. Again, it is between Bracebridge and Baysville. So Bracebridge is one of 3 main towns in Muskoka, and Bracebridge was built around these picturesque waterfalls. It also has Santa's Village, which is super popular with the kids. Santa's Village has 2 parts. It was built in 1955. So the one part is Rudolph's Funland, which is more for older kids. So they have laser tag, and they have go-karts, and they have like treetop trekking and so forth. Right behind me here is a little man-made boat launch. So if you want to put your boat in the property, you're welcome to. I am at, sorry, I see people jumping on. I'm at 2410 Fraserburg. If you guys have any questions, feel free to write them in the comments. I will just talk if you guys don't, but I'm happy to answer any questions. Again, 2410 Fraserburg, outside of Bracebridge, between Bracebridge and Baysville, and this property is listed for $400,000. So there is a little boat launch there, and I was just talking about Santa's Village, so that is in Bracebridge. And again, there's the more teenager part or the adult part, which has the go-karts and batting cages and laser tag and treetop trekking. And then there's the kiddie part, which is Santa's Village. So there's like little mini roller coasters and so forth. And you can get from here to, there's a big plaza that has like the Walmart Supercenter and so forth. And that is 17 minutes from here. So there's a Walmart Supercenter, a Home Depot, a Boston Pizza, Bulk Barn, Dollar Store, etc. Or you can get to downtown Bracebridge in 16 minutes. And to Baysville, there is like a little brewery there. There's also just outside Bracebridge, 5 minutes outside Bracebridge is the Muskoka Brewery. So you have the Baysville Brewery as well as the Muskoka Brewery. And what else? There's tons of waterfalls and so forth. Somebody has asked me before if this has a motor, if you can have motorboats, and you absolutely can. You can put your pontoon or whatever boat you have. There's no size limit, like, oh, it has to be under certain horsepower or what have you. So that is not an issue. The windows in the cottage were done in 2019. 2 of the windows in the garage were done in 2019. And the roof of the garage was also done in 2019. And a 200 amp panel was added in 2019. And a pony panel, should watch where I'm going, and a pony panel to the garage as well was done in 2019. So I will turn this around so you guys can see things. And again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me. Otherwise, I will just randomly talk about things. Again, this is 2410 Fraserburg. There's 160 feet off the front and 227 deep. And there is water on both sides. That is a bunkie behind me, but I'll turn this around so you guys can see, okay? Okay, so that is the garage. You can see, obviously, the propane tanks. So there's propane here. That is the roof that I mentioned that was done in 2019. It is a massive, massive property. Again, 160 by 227. So like I said, there's the volleyball. So that would be the neighbors straight through there. So that's the closest person. And I'm not even as far back as the property goes. I'll try and walk backwards without tripping. But it's a really wide lot. Again, some privacy, but not too much that you don't get sun, right? Sorry, I have a little bit further before I get to the very end of the lot, just so you can see how big it truly is. All right, I have hit the lot line. So that is the cottage. And again, if any of you, so that's the bunkie, that's the cottage. If any of you have looked through the pictures, that is the cottage that flooded in 2019. And it was said to be Muskoka's 100, year flood. Basically, they've had floods many times over the years, but never anything crazy, just like, oh, it's a little bit wet on the grass or what have you. But that was obviously a crazy flood, and that was April 2019. This garage did not flood, even though you can see there's really only maybe a foot difference in the elevation, but yet this one flooded. That's the one that has all the new windows, 2019. And this one over here did not flood, okay? But again, I will show you guys everything just so you have a total idea. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. The taxes on this property are only $1,818, so $1,818. And we're 2 hours from Toronto, which is great. I wish it was like a sunnier day to show you guys, but it is what it is. This property has been on the market for 2 days. And again, obviously there's a volleyball court, and it is just shy of 1 acre. I forget, it was either like 0.96 or 0.95, I forget. There is a bridge. I'll show you guys that as well. So the bridge is common that people jump off of it and so forth. I'll show you in the garage. So that is the window that was in 2019, and same with that one up there was replaced 2019, and then again the roof was 2019. And again, we're 17 minutes to that one plaza, 16 minutes to the super cute downtown Bracebridge core. That is your other neighbor. So you have one neighbor there. You have the bunkie that's a part of this property, the cottage that's a part of this property, and then the other neighbor is over there. Okay, so that is the size-wise. But I will show you guys in the garage first. Again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. So this was obviously going to be a bathroom, but the township of Bracebridge said it could not be. So the plumbing was cut off and cemented in, just in case you guys were curious in the picture. There is a pony panel, like I mentioned, so that was done in 2019. There is a whole upper loft space in this, so it's really great just for storage and so forth. There's no stairs to get up to it, so unfortunately I can't show you up there. But it is the whole size of the garage. But it's, store a bunch of stuff up there and so forth. I don't know the actual size of this. I know it's an oversized single, but I don't know exactly. There is a propane gas fireplace that is obviously not hooked up. It's sitting right there with the venting. And then that's the garage door. And then there's just a little extra area for whatever, a Keurig machine or whatever you want to put there. And then the windows so you can see out into the lake. Again, this is obviously a contractor special. And you'll see even more so once I go in that teal property that it's a contractor special, okay? So if anybody's bored during COVID and wants some extra things to do, this would be a good spot for you. Hope everybody's having a great weekend so far. So again, I'm just randomly talking, but Bracebridge is a super tourist area. Like I mentioned, built around that picturesque waterfall. And it's home to many NHL players and some country music artists, as well as a director. Again, this property is 160 by 227. This teal cottage was built in 1963. And the septic system basically runs right along in here, okay? So it comes out this way and then goes this way. I will show you inside the bunkie. As you can see underneath, the supports are kind of crazy wonky, but it's never floated away, so it is what it is. That I will show you guys the panel in there, but this is the bunkie that also has views of the water. So there's an old survey from the 60s, and it shows this bunkie as well as the cottage, as well as the garage. So they are allowed to stay. However, there was a previous bunkie and a previous outbuilding, which were not on the original, and that was told by the township to be torn down. So that was. So you can see the water through here. It's kind of obviously not a clear day, but that is all water in there. And again, this is just from the bunkie. Again, this property is $400,000 and it's been listed for 2 days, and we are in Bracebridge, or just outside of Bracebridge, I should say, on 2410 Fraserburg Road, which is a dead-end street. Again, taxes at this property are only $1,818. The cottage is 730 square feet. I will show you guys inside the cottage as well. And then I'll show you down at the water, etc. And again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. So again, this cottage, no worries, Christy. This is in Bracebridge at 2410 Fraserburg. And this property flooded in 2019 and has not been fixed, as you're about to see. Okay, so obviously all the subfloor has been taken up, and the water did not come up this high. It was only like an inch. But the insurance company said just in case for mold, they wanted to cut it up, put all the fans and so forth. Why they didn't want to do it in the bathroom, that I do not know. There used to be a fireplace there, so there was a propane fireplace there. So it still has the piping underneath. There is pot lights in here, all flat ceilings. There's 2 bedrooms in here. There's Decora switches. So Decora switches, again, all of the windows were done in here in 2019. So this is one of the bedrooms, obviously not usable because there's no floor. But a lovely view of Muskoka River. And again, you can go on this river with boats. It's not like you can only canoe or so forth. You can put motorized boats in there. You could kayak, stand-up paddleboard, take the kids for a water ski or tube or what have you. And again, this property did flood in 2019, and that was called the biggest flood in Muskoka in the last 100 years. And that obviously sucked for this property since it had just been completely renovated. So this had been the kitchen. As you can see, there's still a little bit of uppers. We have the stove plug right over there, and obviously the water for the sink. And I'm sorry if it gets bumpy, but I'm walking across these post thingamajiggies. Not subfloors, I don't even know what they're called. Who knows what they're called, but I'm trying to be careful as I walk around them. Again, this property is listed for $400,000 and has been listed for 2 days. Flooded in 2019 in April. So that goes out to the back deck. Again, why they didn't make this floor be torn up, that I'm not sure. Again, this is 2410 Fraserburg, which is in Bracebridge, just outside, in between Bracebridge and Baysville. 730 square feet. It's been listed for 2 days, and it's just shy of an acre. 0.96 or 0.95, I forget. It's 160 on the one side and 227 on the other side. Or sorry, 160, I lied. 160 frontage at the main road of Fraserburg, and then 227 deep. And balance beam my way across here. Again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. So that one obviously was flooded. The garage was not. The bunkie was not. Volleyball court. Again, 227 deep. Lovely, quiet water. They often, not often, every single year, they do a kayak race. So that's always pretty to see the kayakers go by. And then, of course, obviously in the fall, you can imagine how beautiful this fills out. It is sandy here and very deep. So there used to be a water trampoline here when it was still being used before it flooded. Again, all of these windows were done in 2019 in the teal cottage, and then 2 back there in the garage in 2019, as well as the roof back there in 2019. Again, 2410 Fraserburg Road. The mailing address is Bracebridge, but it's officially between Bracebridge and Baysville. Baysville's super cute, has a little brewery, and they also have adorable farmers market. And then there's also the other brewery 5 minutes outside of Bracebridge, which is the Muskoka Brewery, which is more well known. And again, Santa's Village, which is in Bracebridge, super cute for the kids. I'll go over there to show you guys where the bridge is. There's a little hammock over there. But Santa's Village is great for the kids. Downtown Bracebridge, adorable little shops, ice cream, restaurants, so forth. There's an amazing sushi place in Bracebridge. Again, the cottage was built in 1963, and it's 160 feet across at Fraserburg Road and 227 deep. Sorry, I don't know if you guys can see past this pine tree, but there's one cottage between where I am and this bridge here, so that's where all of the kids jump off the bridge in the summer, okay? Super peaceful and tranquil here. Again, almost 1 acre. Does need some love for sure after the flood. I'll show you guys the breaker panel as well, which is 200 amp plus the pony panel. For some reason, there used to also be a toilet in this little lean-to. Not sure why, but it is gone now. So there, for some reason, there used to be a toilet. So this is, if you're wondering what that wire is, that is because the township said you cannot have a stove in the garage, so they made it be disconnected. But you still have your main power for the cottage. And again, it is a 200 amp, and there's tons of room, and this was done in 2019. Again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, I'm randomly just going to walk around the property and talk to myself. Okay. Again, this is 2410 Fraserburg. Listed for $400,000 2 days ago, just shy of an acre. 0.96 or 0.95, I forget. This cottage flooded in the flood of 2019, which they described as the biggest flood in 100 years in Muskoka. Muskoka is their main, cities that are towns that they're known for are Huntsville, Bracebridge, and Gravenhurst. So obviously we're just outside of Bracebridge. Again, 16 minutes to the adorable downtown and 17 minutes to the new plaza with the Home Depot and Walmart, Boston Pizza, etc. There are steps down to this waterfront. The dock needs some love. It's half sunk. There's a fire pit here. Again, all of the windows were done in 2019. And the doors. Not the door like the sliding door, but these kind of doors. Those were done 2019. There's also a man-made boat launch. If you guys were on when I was saying about the other bunkies, the other ones used to be here that the township made be torn down. We have the volleyball court. And there will also be a survey provided to the buyer at the seller's expense so they can see the full lay of the land and every single point exactly, so they're not curious where exactly theirs stops and the neighbor's begins. I'll show you guys across after because there's actually water on the other side of that as well. So again, the cottage is 730 square feet. This is like a little man-made boat launch. Again, not official, not like you would ever see at a township or anything like that, but literally a man-made little boat launch to get the boat in the water. Again, super deep and sandy water. You don't have to worry about yucky seaweed. I like that there's barely any cottages around. Again, there's the bridge where all the kids jump off of. And there's a waterfall just down the way. So if anybody wants selfies at the waterfall, super cute spot to go. This is Muskoka River. And again, taxes are only $18.18 on this property. Again, for almost 1 acre for $400,000 in Bracebridge in Muskoka. Flat, usable property. Again, 730 square feet. It did flood in April of 2019 and has not been rebuilt. That was the one that flooded. Again, the septic system is basically in this spot in between leaving the cottage going towards the garage. This is where the other bunkies and outbuildings were that had to be torn down. Again, super large lot with 160 wide by 227 deep. I'll show you guys what's on the other side of the street as well. Again, the garage roof was done 2019, as were the 2 windows here and here. Sorry for my bumpy steps. Again, it is propane here. So the propane tanks are rented, and I forget, they're either $60 or $100 a year. I can double check on that. Again, because there is water on both sides, you can see sunrises and sunsets because you have both sides. Again, a big 1.5 detached garage. Again, at 2410 Fraserburg. I will show you guys across the street. So there's no neighbors over there, like no homes over there. It is just water again. So whether you're a fisherman or you just want a spot for the kids to go for the summer and hang out and escape from COVID, this is a super amazing spot. Again, this is a dead-end street, so you're not having, people rush by, because it is dead end, so unless they live down there, they're not going anywhere. So all water across the street. Again, no cottages. And this is what wraps around that then goes under that bridge. And there's only one house before that bridge. So there's this cottage. One other house over there that you can't see behind the trees, and then the bridge. I will show you guys in the garage one more time and the cottage one more time, unless you guys have any questions. Again, the teal cottage was built in 1963. It is all as is because you can see it has flooded. There's the garage with the 2 new windows of 2019. Bunky. And then all the new windows in the teal cottage 2019. You can hear all the birds chirping. Tons of room, whether you want to put a trampoline or you want to play horseshoes or put up a different building or what have you. I don't know. Obviously depends on the buyers what they'd like to do, and of course they should check with the town, make sure they're within lot restrictions and so forth. Like I did mention, it is going to the seller's going to provide a survey at the cost to the seller before completion for the buyers, so they can see exactly where everything is located. Again, I'll show you in the garage first, and then I will go back in the cottage. So again, these windows were done in 2019. As was this door. So again, this was going to be a bathroom. But the township said you can't have a bathroom in the garage, even though it was here before and just being updated. There is piping for the propane fireplace. It's laminate floors in here, P.S. There's a little bar area for a Keurig machine or what have you. There's a full upstairs loft for extra storage. Need to put like a ladder or something. There's no ladder up there. It's all drywalled, insulated, and Decora switches in here. And then I'll show you guys the cottage one more time. Again, this is 2410 Fraserburg, listed for 2 days at $400,000. Taxes are only $18.18 on this property, which is super reasonable to have 1 acre, almost just shy of an acre in Muskoka, and your taxes are less than $1,900 is crazy. Again, 2410 Fraserburg, Bracebridge, which is between Bracebridge and Baysville. So Bracebridge is super adorable little town with the waterfalls there, with all the shops downtown. But they also still have like Canadian Tire and lots of grocery stores and, you know, Swiss Chalet and all that kind of stuff. It's not like you have nothing down there. This is one of, not one of, it's the outbuildings, the little bunkie. Again, this property is listed for $400,000. So good if somebody wants a project. It is propane, and there was supposed to be 2 fireplaces, one in the cottage and one in the garage, but the one in the cottage was taken out right before the flood, but it still has the piping in there. Again, all of the windows were done here in 2019. And also there's a plaza in Bracebridge that has the Home Depot and Walmart Supercenter, Boston Pizza, etc. That's 17 minutes from here. There's the bridge. One house away where all the kids jump off in the summer. Super peaceful and quiet here. And again, you are allowed to have motorized boats here. And again, this cottage did flood in 2019 and has not been rebuilt or redone or whatever you want to call it. So if you are not looking for a project or not handy or not willing to hire somebody handy, this is definitely not the property for you. All these windows were 2019. This is one of the 2 bedrooms. This was the kitchen. So it still has the upper cabinets, pot lights, nice beam across there. Obviously missing a floor. Minor detail. The bathroom, for some reason, insurance said could be kept. Don't ask me why. Attic access in there. All of the doors were redone 2019. And that is the 2nd bedroom. Again, obviously missing the floor and the drywall in the lower half of the room. This is where there used to be a fireplace, which was taken out, but I can still see the metal thing there. Again, I can just see people hopping on and off, so I'm just going to keep repeating myself for certain things. So I'm at 2410 Fraserburg Road, just outside of Bracebridge. Sorry, my sweater was caught on something there. Again, it's 730 square feet, and it did flood in April of 2019, which was said to be the biggest flood in Muskoka in the last 100 years. Again, 730 square feet, 160 feet at the roadside, and 227 deep. Again, nice deep waters, so if you wanted to have a diving board or a slide or a trampoline, you absolutely could. I have a cute fire pit here, a dock that needs some love. There is a man-made boat launch right there. And again, you are welcome to have boats with motors here. There's barely any you know, other cottages around. This is Muskoka River, so it's super, super peaceful. And again, it does have the bridge where all of the kids jump off. And the bridge again is just through there. Hopefully that gave you guys a bit of an idea. I know I've had lots of questions coming in about the property. I hope you guys all have a super safe weekend. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me direct. I should have my email or number in there, but 705-321-2879. Again, 705-321-2879. And again, this is 2410 Fraserburg Road, just shy of 1 acre in Muskoka, with its own volleyball court, a detached garage, a cottage that needs a lot of love after a flood, and a bunkie. Stay safe and have a great weekend.